Welcome back to another episode, and today I want to talk about one of my most anticipated films of the year. Now, before I do that, let's backtrack a few years ago. I had a chance to catch what to me is a perfect 10 out of 10 zombie film on Netflix, and that's Train to Busan. Now, since catching it on Netflix, obviously I've added it to my collection. It's a film that, if you're a zombie fan, you should have this in your collection. There's no excuse not to have it in your collection. It is perfect. It is 10 out of 10. I cannot find one flaw with this film. Now, that being said, let's flash forward to the present time. And let's talk about Peninsula, the sequel to Train to Busan. Now, I had a chance to catch this film a few months ago. And going into the film, I had already heard all the negative reviews, people just saying, it's not Busan, it's not as good as Train to Busan. Yes, is it as good? No, it is not. But the bar was raised so high with Busan that for anybody to try to even compare the two, it's not fair to Peninsula. Because I had heard about the negative reviews, I went into the film already lowering my expectations. I knew it wasn't going to be as good, and I think because of that, I was able to enjoy the film that much more. Now, the film takes place 4 years after the events of Busan, and we're going to leave it at that for a second because I just want to talk first before I mention anything else. If you're going to get this film, okay, get it on 4K. This film looks incredible. I almost want to say it's running at 60 frames per second. I don't think it is, but it's ridiculous how this... I know I might use that a lot with some of these 4K movies, but this movie definitely rightfully deserves it. This looks incredible. I can't... They should just post it right here. Just post it incredible looking on 4K because that's what this film looks like. It's amazing. And I think that this was $22 on Amazon. This was a steal at that price because this film looks fantastic. I'm sitting there, I'm watching it last night because this is when I finally had a chance to go back and, I watched because I didn't want to do a review on it when I first got it last week on 4K. I wanted to wait until I had a chance to go back and revisit it again, watch it on 4K and see how it looked, on disc. Man, I think I actually went and backtracked 5 to 10 minutes back, watched the movie over again, the first 10 minutes, because I was just just jaw dropping. I couldn't believe how good this looked, on 4K. And now, as far as the film itself goes, like I said, my expectations were lowered already. I knew. So to me, this is a solid 8 out of 10. Now I know people are gonna their reviews are all gonna be different, and their scores are all gonna be different. In general, I don't really want to do scores between 1 and 10. But if I was, this is an 8 out of 10. This is a solid follow-up to Train to Busan. The bar is raised too high. It's not fair to this film for anybody to think it's going to be as good as Busan. It's just not possible to equal that. It's very rare. Some sequels can do it, but it's very rare that it can be done. And, so to me, an 8 out of 10, that's a solid score for this film. This is a mix-up of just a zombie film, Fast and Furious, and Mad Max. It is just, it's crazy in a lot of scenes, and because what you have is, the area where all this, a lot of this zombie activity, took place in Busan, that area has been shut down. This peninsula has been shut down, and nobody is, there are still some survivors that are left there, but at this point, they're it's like Mad Max. Like I said, that's where you get your, that style of film. Because the people are just gone crazy now. They're overtaken. They're scavengers. They're looking for things. They built up their own military unit there on the peninsula, and they're just they've gone off the deep end. They're crazy at this point. One of their pastimes that they like to have is they'll find other survivors they'll bring them into like arena and then just unleash a horde of like zombies on them, and then these guys have to try to survive and get past the zombies until they finally get to safety. And if they can, well, they get to survive until the next time they decide to do this game again. So it's, like I said, that's where that Mad Max style comes in. There are car chases in this film, and they are fantastic. They're very Fast and Furious like. There's your Fast and Furious style. But they don't detract from the zombies. The zombies are so well done, It's just, I can't say enough good things about this film. I really enjoy it. Because again, don't go in thinking that it's going to be its predecessor. It's just not going to happen. Once you realize that and you understand that, you're going to enjoy this film a lot more. I mean, the beginning, see, again, I don't want to do too many spoilers, with this film. But within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I mean, there's a shot that takes place, a scene that takes place on a ship, where survivors are getting onto the ship, and let's just say somebody gets on that ship who might be infected. So things just break down from there. And then, from there, because that's more of a present, like a time, like in the time frame of when Busan was taking place, then it will flash forward, 4 years, 4 years have passed since then. So, you have, the characters are likable in this film. I mean, are they as sympathetic as the characters in Train to Busan? To a degree, maybe not as much. You don't have that like character who's like a real jerk, and they've crossed over like into that area of redemption by the end of the film, like with Train. But the characters, they're not ones that you're gonna be like, oh, they suck, like they're evil, and they're just, and these are the good. I'm talking about the good characters, the ones that you're supposed to hate. You hate, they're scumbags. You'll hate them, no doubt. But the ones that you're supposed to like, you're gonna like. Our main lead actor of the film, and again, guys, I'm not gonna try to pronounce the names in the film. I don't want to do any injustice and butcher anybody's names in the film. So I'm just gonna say, our main lead actor and our main female actress, they're good. They're doing their job well in the film. You'll like them. One thing, and this is something big that a lot of people, one of the main negative things that people said about this film was the inclusion of these two young girls. I would say one's probably like maybe 14, 15. The other one maybe 9 to 10. And they do our teenager. She does the bulk of the driving in this film, and she does some crazy driving. But you got to understand, some people said, this kid driving this. Guys, it's a movie. You're supposed to have fun. It's not supposed to be believable all the time. You got to understand, this is a child who has grown up isolated on this peninsula, and she needs to get around, and not just, because it's basically, you have this teenage girl, you have her mother. Now, the mother is like the main actress of the film. Again, I'm not going to butcher names. You have the grandfather, and then you have this younger girl, like I said, 9 to 10 years old. So the two young girls, the mother's out scavenging for items to keep them alive, and the two young girls are go out once in a while too, looking for things. And that's where they come across. When you first see them, they come across our main actor. And they, they're out to, they come across him in danger, and I'll just leave it at that. But again, if you're on this isolated land, surrounded with zombies all around, and you need to get around, yeah, that could be believable in that sense of a teenager just picking up the car keys and driving. But guys, it's just, it's like if you want to take the Fast and Furious film seriously, they're just for fun. But some people said that these girls were annoying in the film. They weren't. They were not annoying. They were sweet in the film. There was nothing annoying about these girls. So I don't understand everybody, the backlash against them. But guys, I mean, the ending to this film is I enjoyed the ending quite a bit. That's all. I'll leave it at that. I enjoyed the ending quite a bit. And I don't think anybody going into this film, watching this film, is going to be disappointed. You'll be disappointed if you go in there thinking it's going to be Busan. I know I keep saying that, but if you go in thinking it's going to be that, you're going to be highly disappointed. But if you go in knowing that it's just, it's on its own thing. It's its own film. And it is fun, and it's going to be enjoyable. You know, sometimes, you know, some people say, you know, with zombie films, yes, I do enjoy where it's just as straightforward with the zombies. But you are going to have those evil, you know, the evil characters in the film that are, you know, especially on something like this where you're going to have people who are left there and they might go a little crazy. In this case, a lot crazy. But guys, Peninsula, it's a fun film. It's, you know, it's a blast. I enjoyed it. You know, that's why I wanted to watch it before I did it again, you know, before I did a review. Because I wanted to think, you know, was my feeling it was an 8 out of 10? Did it hold up seeing it a second time? Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't recommend it enough. You know, I enjoyed it. And actually, you know, I'll slip it out from the slipcase here and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Because what you get is, you do get just this little, I mean, not a lot in here, just a little advertisement with some other films advertised. And you do get, you know, you get the 4K and you get the Blu Ray. You know, so you have the, you know, the HDR on this, the high dynamic range, because, you know, going back, just talking about how it looks again. You know, you have, I believe this also runs with Dolby Atmos. And that's what I ran with. The sound, oh my goodness. The sound through a sound bar, ridiculous. The sound, the visual, everything, guys. I can't say, you know, I can't talk about it enough. I'm so glad. I debated on whether or not to pick this up just on, you know, on Blu Ray, you know, or go with the 4K. And I am so happy I went with the 4K. I don't regret it one bit. But guys, I just wanted to get on here, talk about Peninsula. You know, if you've seen Train to Busan, check out Peninsula. But definitely make sure you've seen Train first. And when you do see Peninsula, just realize again that it's not going to be, it's not as good as Train to Busan. Just know that out of the gate. And if you realize that already, you know, to begin with, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. That's a 10 out of 10. This is an 8 out of 10 for me. An 8 out of 10 is a strong score for this film. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So guys, until I see you next time, take care.